Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
What's going on, AP? Welcome back. Nathan getting censored. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, let's see here. Chat going. We got over 100 people on the call, so you already know when we get to 100, we can finally get things started. Cool. So, for everybody that is new, my name is Nathan Williams. I am the developer of AIRO. And welcome to the AIRO 101 call. This call tonight is a basic overview of the software. We'll go over strategy number one. We'll talk about some basic Forex trading type principles, like how to count pips, how to use the MT4 platform, things of that nature. And then, like I said, we'll go over some of the basics of the system itself that is called AIRO. Let me get my charts up here for you guys so we can get ready to jump in. All right, so all right, for those of you who have questions, there is a Q&A box. Please ask the questions in the Q&A box. I will look in the chat, but if you could throw them in the Q&A box, that would be great. So, quick background on myself. I've been trading in the financial markets for, over about 14 years now. Specifically Forex, going on 5 years now. And I've been in this training standpoint of like teaching others how to trade Forex, probably for the last 2.5 years now. And I wanted to find a simplistic way to help others learn how to trade a Forex market. A lot of strategies out there that work. However, it is tough for individuals to truly understand how things work at all times. Plus, keep up with it being on the charts. There's not a lot of information given. And so I wanted to find a easier, simpler way to help people trade. And I believe we've found and figured that out with AIRO. And AIRO becomes powerful and powerful every day. I was just on the phone with somebody a little late jumping on. They have another strategy they want to share with me with AIRO. All right, as you guys know, there will be 10 strategies. Strategy number 8 comes out this week. So you guys know I only created myself 7 of the strategies. That's it, 7. All right. There are 3 strategies, which one I've already introduced, and there's 2 more I will introduce as well that I didn't create. And so it's all about value. If you guys have great value, it's a great strategy that's different than what's already been utilized. We will, I'll share it with the world and make sure that everyone knows that you were the one that created it. So it's all about giving that value and giving the credit to where it's due, because it's all about family, guys. It's all about family. I'm here to give value. You guys give value as well. I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to share because that's what it's about, helping 1 million people learn how to trade. And not just Forex, because you guys will see this year, we're going to go beyond Forex, significantly beyond Forex. All right, so look out for that. So without further ado, let me check the Q&A real quick. All right, no questions. All right, we are going to share the screen. And here we are. We are on the charts. This is AIRO. All right. And so I'll go over AIRO real quick, just what you're looking at. And then we'll go over some of the basics, how to count pips, how to use the MT4 software. So you guys know what I'm talking about. MT4 is this platform. So this platform that this software is on, this is what it looks like beforehand. So this is what the chart looks like without the software. And of course, the platform it's on, the software we're using to trade with is called MetaTrader 4. So we're going to go over some basics on how to trade MetaTrader 4, or how to use some of the basic tools to help you, to be able to do this, enough to make trades. We're going to also go over, again, how to count pips. What is a pip? Lot sizes, help you understand what lot sizes are. And then I will show you strategy number 1. All right. So we'll also go over the setup process. So when you guys are set up, and actually, let me do this here. I'm going to open up my let me open up my Auvoria Prime. All right, there we go. So here is typically what you will see when you first log in, guys. I'm going to log into my Auvoria Prime VPS so that you guys can see exactly see the same things. All right, this is what you're going to see here. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some of the settings to make it look like the chart that I had on my other VPS. That's my personal VPS. All right. So first thing you want to do is you want to right click on the black part of the screen. So just right click till you get this menu here. And we're going to go through 2 setups. I'm going to show you how to set up a default chart. And I'll explain what that means and why it's important. But then also show you how to load the AIRO chart, and then also save the templates so that you can just easily put the template on without having to go through the setup process every time. All right. So you want to right click on the black of the screen. You'll get this pop up here. If you have a Mac, just double click with both fingers. Come down to properties. All right. So here on properties, you want to go to colors and just follow along with me. So the background is black, foreground is white. Grid, you want to make white. Bar up, that's our, if our bar is going up, price bar, we'll make it lime green. So green for buy. Bar down, we'll make that red. All right. Bull candle, we'll make that green because bull means up, for those who don't know. And then bear candle means down because they hibernate. So we'll make that red. All right. So black, white, white, green, red, green, red. The rest of it you can leave the same. All right. Ask line, make sure that's on there. We got that as red. So go ahead. If you haven't had a chance to do this yet, or you're not around your computer, take a screenshot of this, take a picture. All right. All right. And the next thing you want to do is go to common. And then on common, you want to make sure your chart shift is on, chart auto scroll. You want to come down here to candlesticks. All right. Show OHLC, show ask line, show period separators are all checked. And then on show grid, uncheck that one. All right. So make sure you take a picture of this, screenshot, whatever the case may be. All right. I'm gonna go back once again for the colors. Here's the colors: black, white, white, green, red, green, red, green, green, red, red. All right. Take a picture, take a screenshot of that. Come back to common, do the same thing. Chart shift, chart auto scroll, check mark. Candlesticks, checked. And then the first 3, show OHLC, show ask line, show period separators. All right, take a picture of that or a screenshot. Once you're done, select OK. All right. Now it looks like the one I just showed you on my other VPS. All right. You want to go to the M15 right here on this bar right here where it says M as monkey 15. So M15. We'll talk about what that means later on. All right. So M15. Once you've done that, now we're ready to save. So you want to come here to this last icon on your template at the very top. You put your mouse over it. It says templates. All right. It says templates. Click on templates. Hit save template. When you do that, you're going to get this restriction. All right, that's fine. Just hit OK. When you get OK, you want to type in default. All right, and then hit save, default. And it'll save it like this. You see mine says default. I got a default one. All right. So you save that. You hit save. I'm going to hit cancel because I already have mine saved. All right. So once you have it saved, now let's look at it here. I'm going to open up another chart. Here's another chart. Uh-oh. I'm not logged into my account. I've seen a lot of people ask about this. If you get this message right here, it's because you are not logged into your account. Here's a way you can tell you're not logged into your account. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner right here, invalid account. All right, you want to see this, the top bar be red, bottom be green, or vice versa. And it has like a certain number in KBS, so kilobytes. That tells you you're logged into the account and you got a signal. All right, I have an invalid account. So give me 1 second. Let me log in to an account real quick. Last time. All right, there we go. So when you log in, typically you're going to see this. All right. Now here's why it's important. Every time you open up a new chart, and if it doesn't look the way you want it to look, you come up here to the template standpoint. Templates, go to load template, and then boom, you have that default right there. You select default, and you hit open, and boom, now it takes your chart to exactly the way you want it to look. That's why the templates are important. All right. Now the second thing we want to do is now that we have this template set up, all right. Now what we want to do is we want to go to this icon right here. It's a gold folder with a gold star. That's called Navigator. All right, the Navigator. You want to select the Navigator, and then under your indicators, hit the little plus button next to it to open it up. Under indicators, you'll see AIRO and AIRO V2. You want to always use AIRO V2. All right. Look out for AIRO V3. It'll be coming out this weekend. So AIRO V3 will come out this weekend. And the only thing I'm changing is it's stuff in the back end to make it run more efficiently. That's why it took me a little longer to get it out, guys. Try to make it run efficiently so it doesn't slow down the VPS. But then also I'm moving the pip counter. So the pip counter will be moved onto the far left of the screen. That way, no matter what size monitor you have, or computer screen or TV you're using, everyone will be able to see it. All right. So always use AIRO V2. You want to double click on AIRO V2. You get the pop up here. It'll start here at about. You want to come here to common. Make sure it says allow DLL imports. Make sure these first two are checked. Then go to inputs. And then under your settings, you want to make sure your desktop alert is true. Push notifications to your phone, true. All right. We'll talk about why later on when we set up the alerts to your phone. All right. Once that is set, you want to make sure your money zone is set. Now, for me, my money zone time frame, that's what I put in here. It's from 12 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. With my broker, I have Hugo's Way. For everyone that uses Hugo's Way, you want to use 0800 to 2000. Now, I've heard a lot of people asking about the best broker to use. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. I can't give you any broker advice, but I can recommend to you guys who I use. I can let you guys know who I use. So if you want to know who I use, I can share that with you. Again, I don't recommend you use anybody. With AIRO and Forex trading, you can use any broker you want. But if you guys send me a personal message, direct message on Telegram or on Instagram, my Instagram handle is @NateGotTheBag. I'll drop that in the group here. So I just sent it to you guys. If you guys want to send me a message on Instagram or on Telegram, I'll share with you who I'm using and the reasons why. So here are some of the reasons when you're looking for a broker, guys. For those who've been asking that question, here's some of the things you want to look for in a good broker. Number one, you want to look for a broker who has a good offering. So offering means the number of pairs they offer. So you look at, are they offering Forex pairs? Do they offer cryptocurrencies? Do they offer stocks? Do they offer indices? Do they offer precious metals? And do they offer energy like oil, oil, things of that nature? That's what you want to look for. You want to look for a broker that has a good offering. You want to look for a broker that has pretty good leverage. So let's say 1 to 200, 300, 1 to 400. The brokers I utilize have 1 to 500 leverage. Now, leverage just allows you to maximize your money that's in your account, with proper parameters. You want to make sure that you utilize a broker that has low spreads. Low spreads are important. All right. Look for a broker that has low spreads. So the spread, give me 1 second here, I'll show you what I mean by spread. The software on. When I double clicked on AIRO V2, we now have the software here on real quick. Give me 1 second here. Not looking the way I want it to look. All right, so why isn't that showing right? Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. I know why. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Let me show it on my other chart. It's a good example. All right, great. So as you can see here, guys, I have a red line and a white line. All right. That's how yours should look. It didn't show on my last chart because, as you see here, I'm logged in the VPS that I personally use. I'm logged into my account. The other one says invalid. So when you're logged in, it'll give you the ask line. So mine only showed one line, didn't show both. So you can see here, the red line is your ask line. So when you place a buy, wherever this red line is at is where it will put your entry at for a buy. All right. When you put it in for a sale, it's gonna put it in at the bid line, which is the white line. So when you place the sale in, it'll put it there. The difference, you see there's a gap in between those two. This is your spread. The spread is the difference between the bid and the ask line. So for example, if I put in a buy trade, let's say we put it in up here, all right? We put it in up here when this green line was up here, this last green candle. Then both red line and white line have to be above my entry for me to be in profit. If I have a sale and my sale line, I put a sale in down here, then both my red line and white line, or my bid and ask, have to be below my sale line before I'm in profit. All right. And so the difference between the two is what the brokers call, or what is known as, the spread. So you want to have a broker, or you want to utilize a broker that has low spreads. The lower the spread, the faster it is for you to get into profit, and the less greedy a broker is. All right. The bigger the spread, they're just being greedy. All right. Also, some brokers are, as I call B, or not as I call, but they're called B brokers, which means that they can manipulate the spread. They will open and close the spread whenever they want to, which sucks because that's just market. All right. So you want to go with a book broker. An A book broker is not trading against you. An A book broker does not manipulate the spread. So for example, if my take profit line was right here and price is heading down and it gets close to take a profit, they open the spread up so my trade doesn't close, and then the price goes the opposite direction. Yeah, that's manipulating the market. That's what B brokers do. You want to make sure you get with a broker that is a A-list broker. They are all their trades that you put on with them go straight to the banks. the top 10 banks that actually manage the Forex market. All right. That's what you want to be with a broker that's an A book broker. You also want to be with a broker that when you put money into your account. So for example, if I send $500 to put into my account by Bitcoin, or I withdraw $500, they don't take a fee out. All right. They don't take out a cryptocurrency fee to actually transport your profits or take money in, when you're doing a deposit. All right. You also want to be with a broker. What else is there? So we talked about the spreads. We talked about the different asset classes they offer. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it there. So those are some things you want to look out for a broker. Oh, I'm sorry. Also with cryptocurrencies, you want to make sure with the cryptocurrencies, they allow you to trade over the weekends because cryptocurrency never closes. The Forex market shuts down, but cryptocurrencies don't. So some brokers don't allow you to trade cryptocurrency over the weekends or pretty much all year around. So you want to make sure that does. So some of the brokers that I utilize have everything that I'm talking about. And so again, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you any advice on who to use, but I can share with you who I use. But you have to either, like I said, send me a message on Telegram at Nate Got the Bag on Telegram and at Nate Got the Bag on Instagram. I can share with you who I utilize. But again, it's not, it's not financial advice. And as also as a disclaimer, this call and all of my calls are educational calls. I do not. I am not a financial advisor. Auvoria Prime is not a financial advising company, and so we're showing you these these tools that you can utilize for educational purposes. All right. So keep that in mind from a disclaimer standpoint. Now that we got that out of the way, I can't give the name of the broker out over a public call, but contact me individually, and I can share that with you. Let's go back to the Auvoria Prime. All right, here we go. So we're on back. Now that we got the chart on here. So now that we put the chart on here, we want to do the same thing. So remember, guys, we have the navigator open. We double click AIRO V2, did everything there. We hit OK. Now the money zone, if you're using Hugo's way, 0800 to 2000. All right, that is the time frame that corresponds with 12 a.m. Central to 12 p.m. Central. How do I know that? Well, I know that because I've traded enough on this broker. I know what, and I'm up at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time that I can just figure that out. And I'll show you how I figured it out. So let me close this here. So 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, like right now, it is 9:35 Central Standard Time, right? 9:35 Central Standard Time. All right. So this red line is at 9:35 Central Standard Time, all right? Or it's 9:30 right here because we're on a 15-minute time frame. All right. So 9:30. So that means 2.5 hours from now, or say 2 hours, 45 minutes from this candle is still a 15-minute candle. It will be midnight, all right, on this chart, all right? And so all I do is I want to move this candle over 2 hours and 45 minutes, all right, which is from a 15-minute candle standpoint, that's 11 candles from now, because 15 minutes, 2 hours, 45 minutes, that's 11 candles, all right? So I move mine over 2 hours and 45 minutes to hit 12 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this, you want to move. And again, how do I know that? 2 hours, 45 minutes. If you look down here at the very bottom, down here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, down here, you'll see it says 05:15. So I know to move it over 2 hours and 45 minutes because it'll be 12 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, my time. So you want to move over yours 2 hours and 45 minutes. 5:15 plus 2 hours and 45 minutes equals the 0800. You see here it says 2021, 01, 04, 0800. Now again, remember mine says 04 because this again, is an invalid account. So it's not a live feed, not showing a live server. Stuck right now. Let me show you guys on the real chart. And then we'll go back and show you how to set up the templates. All right, so as we can see here, all right, as you can see here, it's live. All right, so it's 5:30. So I was off 15 minutes because again, that last chart wasn't live. We're live on this chart. You can see I'm live down here, green and red. Got my numbers, my kilobytes at the end. All right, see that's how you know it's a live chart. A lot of people were asking about that in the group over the weekend. So now you know it's live. All right, or now you know you're logged into your account properly as well. All right, I'll put my line, my vertical line. If you need to know where that's at, right here on the toolbar. 1, 2, third line, third icon from the left. You see a vertical line. That's what that is there. All right. You see down here, 2021, 0111, 0530. I know right now it's 9:38. This is the 30-minute, it's a 15-minute chart. So every 15 minutes, there will be a new candle. So for 15 minutes, starting at 9:30 is when this candle started to form. So I know from 2.5 hours from this candle, it will be midnight Central Standard Time. So I move my candle over 2.5 hours, which is a total of 10 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. And you see it matches up because I have mine set properly, but it matches up now with where my money zone starts. But I moved it over 10 spaces till I had 2.5 hours. So it was 0530. Now it's 0800. So that, that is how you set it. You need to be up, or if you're awake at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time in your time zone, then that is where all you do is look at your broker time frame and figure out what time it is. All right. And so 0800 is 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so I know that from 0800 to 2000 is the 12-hour time span, because again, you guys saw right here, 0800 to 2000. All right. Brokers use military time to show, they use military time to show their server times. So 0800 plus 12 hours is 2000. That's how military time works. 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2000. All right. That'll get you set up on your money zone, because your money zone is 12 hours. For those who are new, I'll explain what the money zone means. I'm just helping you out with the setup right now so that you have it set up correctly. That's it. So once you got that set correctly, you know your money zone is set up correctly. This is important. Make sure you get this correct. All right. The broker, that for those who do contact me, has the same server time frame. So I don't have to change that. All right. That's great. But this is how you set your server time frame. All right. All right. So then let me go back real quick to the Auvoria Prime. All right, so we're here back in the Auvoria Prime VPS. And the reason I'm here is to show you guys the setup on how it looks with Auvoria Prime's VPS. Slightly different. Now my VPS looks different because I'm on the remote desktop version for Auvoria Prime. All right, I'm on the remote desktop version, which allows me to access this on my phone, on my computer. I have a Mac. For those who have a Mac, the VPS comes in handy. I'm on a Mac right now, showing you these charts. Putting everything on your VPS makes it user friendly, because if I lost my computer today or someone stole it and my phone, I could come to your house, log into your computer and trade, because my VPS can be accessed anywhere as long as I have my credentials, which are always in your back office. All right. There are videos when you're doing your setup process as well. Make sure you watch those videos. They show you how to set up step by step, either your remote desktop or your VPS. I mean, setting your VPS up through the back office. You can access it 2 ways. Recommendation is to use your remote desktop. Faster, and it's there's less lag. So keep that in mind. All right. All right. So now that we get this, you have AIRO set up. What you want to do is same thing. Come up here to templates. Click templates. Save template. select OK. Again, I call mine AIRO V2. When AIRO V3 comes out, you want to resave your template, delete the old one, resave the new template. All right, so I call it AIRO V2, I hit save. That's why I have it here. All right, so now whenever I open up a new chart, all right, looks like this again. All I have to do is come here to templates, go to load template, select AIRO V2, hit open. And boom, there it is. All right, there it is. We're all good to go. And that's it. That's how it works, guys. That's how you set up your templates. All right. Next, actually, before I move on, no, I'm going to talk about one more thing, one more setup piece, and before I actually start walking through AIRO, what everything stands for, what everything means. Then what we'll do is we'll look through the Q&A box and answer some of you guys' questions. The last step is I'm going to show you how to set up your notifications so you can receive them to your phone. All right. So you're going to need two things. Two things you're going to need. All right. Number one is you're going to need the MetaTrader 4 app on your phone or on your tablet. All right. So make sure you have that downloaded. All right. Make sure you have it downloaded. All right. Once you have it downloaded, you want to sit on settings, click settings. All right. Everyone looks different. I have an iPhone. So I want to select settings here. And then I want to hit chat and messages here in the middle. Chat and messages. And then I'll get this icon right here. I get this screen. Just register, log in, and at the bottom I have my MetaQuotes ID number. Keep that in mind. You want to have that MetaQuotes ID number. All right. Once you have the app on your phone and you see the screen where it shows your MetaQuotes ID number, you want to come back to your VPS. You want to come to Tools at the very top of the menu bar. Come down to Options. You want to select Notifications, and then here you want to check mark Enable Push Notifications because it's going to push it to your phone. And then you want to type in your MetaQuotes ID number here. Once you type it in, you want to hit test. You'll get a test message right here that'll say test on your phone. It'll come. Then you know it works. If it didn't come through, that means you probably entered in your MetaQuotes ID number wrong. So you want to make sure that's entered in correct. Hit test. You'll see the notification here. It says test, and then you hit OK. I got mine set up on my other VPS, so I'm not going to reset it up. Once that's done, you want to then go into the settings on your phone. And then when your settings, you want to make sure that you have your notifications set up for your MT4, your MetaTrader 4 app. All right. So that your phone knows to send you the push notification to your phone, because you're going to get all the notifications to your app. But if your phone doesn't have the notifications set up for that MT4 app, then you won't see any. All right. So keep that in mind. Once that's set up, you are 100% set up and ready to go. Because again, the software is set up to be simple to use so that you don't have to sit in front of the charts all day. You can literally go cook, go clean, whatever the case may be, play with the kids. And then once you get a notification on your phone, that notification tells you that there might be a trade opportunity. You then can come to the charts and see and decide based on the rules if they meet the rules or not. If so, take the trade. If not, go about your business. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick and let me go see what's in the Q&A box. I do not have an app that counts pips. So everyone's asking about an app to count pips. I don't have an app to count pips. However, someone has created, so our illustrious, for those who know Mariska, she is our risk compliance officer for the company. She has a calculator for counting pips. All right. So I will be looking to present that to you. She shared it with me. I'm going to play around with it, and then we'll start talking about that on the calls, and I'll share that with you guys as well, so you guys have access to that. All right. Someone asked me if I did the disclaimer. Yes, I have done the disclaimer multiple. Not only for AP but also for the broker. Thank you for reminding us. Why is it saying invalid account still? We already went over that. All right. We already went over about the white line, how to get that set up. Asking about broker that, will a broker tell you if it's an A book broker or a B book broker? No, it won't. You kind of have to know the lingo to look for. So as you read through some of the lingo, as far as like when you're signing up, they'll tell you the difference there. All right. But then also you can know based off of trading with a A-list broker or A-book broker, the only time their spread opens up is when there's high volatility. All right. That's the only time the spread opens up. So 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, when the Forex market is changing over, at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, the spreads get big. And then anytime there's any large liquidity event. So for example, non-farm payroll, NFP, the first Friday of each month, the very first Friday of the full week, there's NFP, the very volatile time to trade, and the spread opens up then. But if you see spreads opening and closing, all week long, that is a B book broker. Typically A book brokers, their spreads typically stay the same. They're lower spreads, but they typically stay the same almost every day. All right. But you have to, just be able to read the lingo. So I've done some of the research for you guys. That's why I know. And I've also, one thing you do is you can chat, comment and contact the broker in the chat and talk to the support and ask them if they're A book or B book broker. All right. They may tell you, they may not. But I've done the research for you guys. So for those who do reach out, and then, you get that broker from me. That's why I've done research already on it. Bob asked about what does it mean on charts when candles are one color and the wick is one color when he zooms in. First of all, that's just the way the software is coded, because my software puts colors on top of the chart. So as you know, we set up a default chart, it puts it on top of the chart. We'll go over that later on, but all I can say is don't zoom in as much. So zoom out a little bit so that you don't get confused by that. All right, and you see the full color. That's just the software. Again, I'm not replacing the candlesticks. I'm just putting a color over it. And we'll talk about that a little later on. The schedule for live trading. We will start getting that out now that we're starting back. The AIRO announcements channel is where we will post that. So I'm gonna I've got that coming out this week now that we're actually going back into live trading. I'm gonna be putting out a schedule for that. All right, guys. And then as we continue to add more educators to the platform, then we'll start to fill up the schedule so that you guys know who is trading or doing a live education at what time and what days as well. So look for that to come out in the AIRO announcements channel, and then I'll push it to the AIRO bag chat. If you're not in the AIRO announcements channel, make sure you get the link for the AIRO announcements channel. That's for all the announcements. Anytime there's a live call, it'll be announced there. Anytime there is any announcement, so when I drop new strategy videos, it's announced there. New tools are announced there. Anything dealing with AIRO and the community, AIRO community will be dropped in the announcements channel first. I always push it to the bag chat, where the chat group is always filling up because people are chatting. But in the announcements, it's just read only. All right. Got a love AIRO comment. Hey, I appreciate it. Glad everyone's loving AIRO. If you're Eastern Standard Time, do you make 1 a.m. instead of 12 a.m.? Correct. It's all based on your time frame. You want to convert it to whatever 12 a.m. Central Standard Time is. So if 12 a.m. Central Standard Time in your time zone is 1 a.m., then that's what it is. All right, guys. I just showed it to you, though. 2.5 hours from where we were at. That's it. Don't try to confuse it. You don't make it difficult than what it is. 2.5 hours from where the current candle is at. You move the time. That's where the money zone starts. 2.5 hours. Exactly 2 hours and 9 minutes from now, the money zone starts. Please do not complicate this, guys. Once you draw the line, so when you draw the line to the vertical line I showed you, you want to right click on that red line and hit delete. So when you draw that vertical line or even a horizontal line, to get rid of that, right click on it and delete. AIRO pips, I've explained this multiple times. It doesn't show with the current version. People have different size screens. On mine, it works very fine. Some others have no problem. Some, it looks different because of the size of the screen. Do not worry about it. It will be fixed in AIRO version 3. All right. Bid-ask lines. We went over those and showed how to set those up. All right. Got to have the settings. Follow the settings that I gave you guys. That's why I say take a picture of them or a screenshot. Those settings will ensure both your bid and ask lines show. All right. Mark, do not complicate this. My broker has a different time zone than I do. I'm trading where I live between 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. But on my broker, the server they use has a different time zone, 0800 to 2000. Please don't complicate this, guys. You're making it more difficult than it needs to be with a money zone. All right. Place your time 2.5 hours from now. And then the time zone, again, it's a 12-hour time span. Whatever it says, if it says 0800, then you know your ending is 2000. If it starts at 0500 for your server time, then that means the end for the money zone is 1700. That's 12 hours. That's all you need to do. Whatever when you move it out 2.5 hours, whatever that time says at the bottom of the screen, 12 hours past that is the end. That's the beginning. 12 hours past that is the end. Please don't make this more difficult than it has to be, guys. This is simple. All right. Don't confuse yourself. We will talk about when to trade. Yes, the money zone is the only time you should be trading. I do not know about that broker. Someone asked about LCMFX. I'm not sure. I could not tell you. That's not one that I use. I don't know. Again, you can use that broker if you want. That's just not one that I'm aware of. I've heard of them. I just have not done my research on them. So do your research. Reach out to them. Look through some of the disclaimers they have where they disclose some of that information. Someone asked about why they can't see all the green and red zones to count them properly. We'll go over that as well. You need to zoom all the way out. So we'll go over that as well. All right. You get the same broker as me. All right, great. So if you get the same broker as me, 0800 to 2000. So great. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So we got all the Q&A asked. Let me check in the chat. Answered that one. Yes. Different time zones because the brokers are overseas. That is correct. Just like that broker there. That's correct. All right. So we get that answered. All right. Let's get back into it. So we've gone over how to set up all the settings so that you have everything set up. Now you have your chart set up. Now you have your money zone set up. Now you have your, Now you also have your push notification set up so that you can get your push notifications to your phone. All right. Now, what is AIRO? So AIRO is just a visual aided software to give you a good representation of what the market is doing. I will explain what I mean by it so you can truly understand what I mean by what the market is doing. And you can start to see what I see. So number one is you have these different zones. All right. And you see here, you have red zones. These are zones. All right. And you have green zones. All right. Red zones are what we call resistance zones. They're like the ceiling. If I take a ball, I throw it up at the ceiling, it's going to hit the ceiling and bounce off because balls bounce. Imagine price is like a ball. You see here, price came up, hit the ceiling, bounced off. All right. Green zones are support zones, like the floor. If I drop a ball on the floor, it hits the floor and bounces up. So you can see here, price came down off the ceiling, hit the floor, bounced up, came back down, hit the floor, bounced up. All right. That's it. Price continually comes to a point, reverses. Comes to another point, reverses. Comes to another point, reverses. It's constantly bouncing up and down off of the floor and the ceiling all day long. All right. That is what these zones are doing. Now, to understand the overall trend, What you want to do is zoom all the way out. So you hit this zoom button here. You have two magnifying glass, one with a plus sign, with a negative sign. Hit the negative sign to zoom all the way out so you can see all your zones. All right. Whatever zone has the most colors or the most zones on it is the direction of the trend. We can clearly see here on this Forex pair, there are more red zones than green zones, which means that the market is in a downtrend, which means that we should be looking for sell trades only. So we're only going to take sell trades on this pair right here. All right. Next, well, let me talk about something else real quick because I know somebody's going to ask it if I don't talk about it. If we have more green zones than red zones, that means we take more. We just only look for buys. We look for price to go up only. Even if you get a sell trade, that it doesn't matter. We're only looking to take buy trades only, unless you know what you're doing. All right, but for most that are just coming on board, we're only looking for buy trades only. Why? That's because you want to trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. The trend is in the direction the market is going. All right. Overall, price may be overall going down, but as you can see, as it's overall going down, it goes down, comes back up, goes down, comes back up. So price doesn't always go straight down or straight up. It goes down, up, down, up, down, up. But over time, it's trending downward. All right. Trending downward. All right. Keep that in mind. So we trade in the direction of the trend. That will keep you on the right side of money. All right. This is truly the best way to trade. All right. And then as you become more experienced, you then can start to trade against the trend. Now, before someone asks me, what happens if we have the same number of zones? So if we have the same number of zones, let's say you don't see these two. Let's say you only have one zone here and one zone here. All right, great. So what you want to do is take your cursor here and you want to count your pips in between both zones. If you have more than 50 pips in between both zones, you can take the trade in both directions. All right, we'll talk about how to count pips later. All right, let's measure it here just to make sure. And in between these two, we have 83 pips. So we can take trades in both directions. All right, if you have the same number of zones, I have one of each, two of each, three of each, whatever. If the zones or the number are the same, you can trade in both directions as long as you have 50 pips or more room in between the two closest zones. All right, the two closest zones. All right. Next is the color candles. You see here, you have green and you have red. All right, green and red. Now you do have some dark green in here. You have some pink in here. I might change that so that people don't ask about that. Again, don't get confused in the small details, especially the ones that don't do you any good. All right. If it's dark green or green, price is in an uptrend. The trend has changed from a downtrend to an uptrend. If it's the salmon color, the pink color, or red, it's in a downtrend. Price has gone from uptrend to now a downtrend. All right. So red and pink are, red, and then the two different shades of green are just green. I might change it to where it's always just red, it's always green. That way there's no questions about it. I want to make this as simple as possible for you guys because someone always gets caught up on this. All right, so keep that in mind. Green, up, red, down. All right, this blue line, you see it's blue squiggly line that keeps moving around. This is the moving average. All right, this is a moving average. I can't tell you which one it is because it's secret sauce, but it's a moving average. So for example, if it was a 100 moving average, just for example, it's not, but if it's a 100 moving average, what that means is a moving average looks at the last X amount of candles. So a 100 moving average will look at the last 100 candles, and based on their average price, it moves based on its average last 100 candles. And it's called moving because when a candle closes and a new candle opens, the moving average extends out, and that new candle is now part of the 100. It drops the last 100th candle off and adds this new candle on, and therefore it will adjust the direction of the wick. So for example, if price comes way down here and closes below the moving average, then you'll see the tip of the moving average point down. All right. Right now we're going up, so you see it's headed up. All right. Red and green just kind of shows you the trend, the zone, this gray shaded area. This is the money zone. All right. This is called the money zone because this 12-hour time frame, over 80% of Forex is traded during this time frame. All right. The Forex market is almost $7 trillion a day. So over 5.5 million, I'm sorry, over $5.5 trillion is traded during this time frame. So there's two rules. You want to trade with the trend and you want to trade with the money. Why? Because you have the highest probability of being correct in that direction. So for example, as you can see here, inside the zone, price is moving big, up and down. Outside the zone, it's moving a little bit, up, down, not too much. But most of the time when you're inside the zone, there's more volatility. And that's just because there's more money, all right? And then last but not least, you have the arrows. All right, these arrows are giving potential buy or sell entries. You only take them based on the rules, but it's giving you potential buy or sell entries. Here is how you know when to take it. We'll talk about that rule next for the bag entry trade. But there are three types of strategies behind the arrows. All right, there is a counter trend strategy. So going against the trend, there is a trend strategy. And I say counter because we saw this, guys. We zoomed out all the way. We know we're in a downtrend, right? So we know we're in a downtrend. An up arrow is just a counter trend trade. So going against the trend, all right? There are ways to know when to take these trades. Most of the time you don't. All right. There are also, so that strategy is one of the strategies. This strategy right here is a trend change confirmation. So when trend has confirmed to have change, you get an arrow. And then when trend has continued in the trend, all right, there's a pullback and then a continuation, you get another arrow. All right, another arrow. All right. So those are the three types of strategies that are behind the software that gives you these arrows. All right. And that's it. Those are the different elements of the software and of the visual aspect of the software. Now we're going to go over strategy number one. But before we do, I need to break down pips, how to count them, what they are. I also need to break down lot sizes because they go hand in hand with the software. All right. So let us break it down real quick. So a pip, PIP. A pip stands for price interest point. All right. So what a pip is every time there is a movement in the market, price moves up or down, it moves up in pips. So pips reminds you of dollars. So if I give you $1, I'm giving you $1. If I add $1 to it, now I'm giving you $2. So it just tells you it's increased by $1 because you had $1, I gave you another dollar, now you have two. So you have increased your dollar or the amount of money you have in your hand by $1. Similar to, or if I take $1 away, you now have decreased the number of money you have in your hand by $1. Same with pips. All right. Same with pips. People asked about deleting this right here. When you double click on it, there's white dots on both sides. When you see double white dots, you can right click on it and hit delete. All right. You see it disappears for those who want to see it. All right. Pips. So as you can see here, pips are written in multiple ways. So as you can see here, price, let me do this real quick. All right, so you see here, price right here where this white horizontal line is at. Price, you see right here, 1.75401. So there are 5 numbers after the decimal place. But then if you go to another pair, you can see here, they're 141.102. There's only 3 numbers after the decimal place. So you can have 2, 3, 4, or 5 numbers after the decimal place, all right, for Forex pairs, all right? I'm only going to teach about Forex pairs because I recommend 10 Forex pairs. I don't teach about gold. I don't teach about indices. I don't teach about cryptocurrency. We teach the basics so that you can master that. When you're ready to expand to those next asset classes and start to trade those once you've mastered Forex pairs, then we'll have proper training calls for that. All right. Right now, we're only going to concentrate on Forex pairs. And so with Forex pairs, the price has either 2, 3, 4, or 5 numbers after the decimal place. Here is how you count them. All right. So number one, two or three numbers after the decimal place equals second number. And then, and I'll break this down for you in a minute, guys. Let me just get this information for you here. 3 or 4 numbers after the decimal place equals fourth number. This is how you count your pips. So we're on the Great Britain pound Japanese yen pair here, and we're going to go with 140.100. There are 3 numbers after the decimal place when it comes to this currency pair that we're on, which is, you can see right here, the Great Britain pound Japanese yen, comma M15. So we're on the 15-minute time frame. Now, I told you I'd talk to you about that. M15, M1, M5, H1, H4. All that means is the amount of time it takes for one of these candles to form. And form means that it's going to go up, price is going to go up and down on this candle before it closes it and opens up a new one. So M15 means 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, a new candle opens up. All right. This one will close. The next one will pop up and start to form. All right. So this candle went from here all the way up here and back down in 15 minutes. So you see these wicks. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys. And here's what someone was talking about it's green, different color, but having a different color wick. That's because you zoomed in too far. So you want to make sure you zoom out to this level right here, because this trend color, again, guys, the trend color is on top of the candles. All right. Remember, the chart looks like this beforehand. All right. Everything red, green, red, green, red, green, red, 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 green, green, green. But then, and you see here, as prices going up, you got red and green. But if you put AIRO on the chart, it codes the color over it. So as you see going up, it's all green. Gives you an indication that even though some of the candles are going up and down, the overall trend is up. Just to help you out with the visuals, guys. All right. So, as I was saying here, with these candles here, this candle, if it's a green candle, means price opened up at the bottom and it closed higher. If it's a red candle, means price opened up at the top and closed at the bottom. That's what red and green dictates to red and green. All right. So, there it is. So 140.100. Let's say that's the current price. All right. 3 numbers after the decimal place. Like I said, here's a rule. If there are 2 or 3 numbers, oh man, how can somebody tell me I've had a misspelling? Let's go back and change that. 2 or 3 numbers. N-U-M-B. Here we go. 2 or 3 numbers after the decimal place. And you see here, we have 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal place, like we do over here. The second number is your pip. So the 0 is the pip. All right. Which means that right. So this is 140.100. All right. If we go from 140.100 to 140.110, remember the second number after the decimal is the pip. That means we're going up 1 pip. If we go from 140.100 to 140.090, we've gone down 1 pip. That's how you count it, guys. That's how you count it. If I go from 140.100 up to 140.200, I've gone up 10 pips. And then if I go down from 140.100 down to 140.000, I've gone down 10 pips. All right. That's it. That's how you count pips when you have 2 or 3 numbers. And then if you go back to 4 or 5 numbers, like right here, we got 5 numbers. So let's count the pips. We're going to use 1.36180. All right, that's the number we're going to use, which is right here. 1.36180. Put it up a little bit here. So 1.36170 is 1 pip down. .36080 is 10 pips down. .36190 is 1 pip up. .36280 is 10 pips up. All right, that is how you count pips. All right, there are 5 numbers after the decimal. So the 4th number, the 8, is the pip. 8 minus 1 is 7. 18 minus 10 is 08. All right, that's 10 pips down. 8 plus 1 is 9. 18 plus 10 is 28. Because you carry the 1, like we did, like basic math we learned in elementary school. All right, that's how you count your pips. All right, now, how do you make money? Pips plus lot size equals money. All right, pips plus lot size equals the amount of money you make. So how do we count, or how do what's a pip? What's a lot size? Let's talk about those. So lot sizes, there are 3 types of lot sizes. All right. The first lot size is what we call the micro lot. Micro lot is written as 0.1 to 0.09, and it equals the 10-cent lot. All right. So a micro lot, you write a micro lot as 0.01 all the way up to 0.09. So 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, so forth and so on till you get to 0.09. It stops at 0.09. That is a 10-cent lot size. So 0.01 is a 10-cent lot size. So every pip move up is 10 cents, or pip move down is 10 cents. All right. 0.09 is 90 cents. All right. 90 cents. So every pip up, 90 cents, every pip down, 90 cents. All right. Those are micro lots. Next is mini lots. Mini lot. That's written as 0.1 to 0.99. That is a dollar lot. So a mini lot is the next level up. Once you go from 0.09, next is 0.1. And 0.1 all the way to 0.99 is considered a mini lot. The 0.1 lot size is a dollar lot. 0.99 is $9.90. So if you use a 0.5, that's $5 per pip. So one pip move up is $5 with a 0.5. One pip down is $5. All right. And then last but not least, my favorite is where you start making the bag for real, is when you start getting to the standard lots. Standard lot. That is written as 1.00, and it goes to infinity. All right. $10 lot. The standard lot. 1.00 is how it's written all the way to infinity. You can have a 10,000 lot, 10,100,000.00. All right. If you have enough money in your account, you could use a 10,000 lot. I've seen the trades that a bank has put on, and they had a 100,000 lot. That 100,000 lot means that every pip move up or down was $1 million. All right. But the banks have unlimited bank accounts, so we can't trade with those. But a 1.00 is a very good lot size to use if you have the right amount of money in your account. 1.00 is a $10 lot. So for every pip move up, that's $10. For every pip down, that's $10. All right. A 10 lot, so 10.00 is $100 per pip. Every pip up is $100. Every pip down is $100. All right. So all you do with all these lot sizes is move the decimal place over one. That gives you an idea or indication of how much money you are wagering for each trade. The more pips you get correct in your direction that you say, if you said buy down here and it goes up, the more money you make. If you say buy here and it goes down, the more money you're losing. All right. This is how you write your lot sizes. So if I'm using a standard lot of 1.00 and I get my trade correct for 10 pips in the right direction, I made $10 times 10 pips. That's $100. If it's wrong in the right, if I was saying buy and it went into a sale for 10 pips, then I'm now negative $100. All right. That is how you actually count your pips, and those how you will utilize lot size. Now, when it comes to lot size, I recommend utilizing a 0.01, so a 10-cent lot size, for every $100 you have in your account. So if you have a $500 account you're trading with, 0.05. If you have a $1,000 account, 0.1. If you have a $10,000 account, a 1.00. All right. So 0.01 for every $1,000 you have in your, $100 you have in your account. Why? Here's why. It gives you great control over your money, the amount of money you're risking. All right. You have to lose, and I'll share the math with you here, guys. If you have a $100 account, 10% of $1,000 is $100. So if you have a $100 account, you have to lose 1,000 pips before all your $100 is gone. So utilizing a 0.01 lot size for every $100 gives you great risk management. You don't want to use and over leverage your account by using larger lot sizes trying to make more money, because sometimes the trade might be going in the right direction, but like we said, even though overall we're heading down, sometimes it goes the wrong direction. So if you enter a trade in for a sale right here, it pulls back right here. Depending on the lot size, it may blow your whole account. So you want to use proper risk management, because if you lose a trade, which you will, no one never loses, but if you lose a trade, I should say when you lose a trade, you want to make sure it doesn't blow your account or it doesn't significantly hurt you. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go over strategy number one. Then I'll answer some more questions, and then we will end the call. All right. Let me find a pair real quick that we want to trade. And we'll go over real quick here. All right, so what I'm doing here is, as you guys saw, we have even number of zones here, 2 and 2. I just measured the two middle ones. There's only 39 pips in between them. Therefore, it's a bad trade to take. All right. We can't take trades both ways. All right, so this is the Great Britain pound US dollar. There's 3 simple rules to strategy number 1. All right, strategy number 1 is called the bounce arrow go strategy. All right, the bounce arrow go is just an entry method. All right, so first thing you want to do is zoom out all the way and see how many zones you have. We have 3 of each. All right, we have 3 of each, which means that we need to do what? We need to zoom in, and we need to measure in between both zones, the 2 middle zones, how many pips. All right, now, this is the cursor. So this right here, the second icon from the left on the bottom of the menu bar. This is the cursor. All right, so I'm measuring from here to here. Now, I'm explaining to you what these numbers mean. The first number says 27. So that means from this point, or this candle, to wherever I was at, that means I had moved 27 candles. So I'll explain what I mean. Let me zoom in. From this candle to this candle, you see it's 1. That means I've moved 1. It's just 1 candle. All the way to here, you see that first number now says 22. That means from where I started to where I was going, it's 22 candles in between. That's all that means. The number after that says 460. What that means is 46.0. So 46 pips. So from this point to this point is 46 pips. And then the last number is just price. That's just where current price is at. That's all that is. All right. So I measure from the inside of the zone to the inside of this zone. And you see it says 1225, 1225. So that's really 122.5 pips. So there's more than 50. That's the rule. If you have an even amount of zones, you must have 50 pips in between the trade. All right. So we zoom out all the way. We have 3 of each, which means that we can trade both directions. If we had more red, we will only be looking for sales only. If we had more greens, we would only look for buys only. But we have the same number of zones. Therefore, we can take a trade both ways as long as they meet the rules. So rule number 1, identify the trend. We know the trend is flat. Therefore, we're going to take trades both ways. All right. Next thing you do is only trade. So step number 2, only trade inside this zone, the money zone. Remember, we want to trade with the money and with the trend. That's why number 1 is identify the trend. And number 2, only take trades inside the money zone. All right. Rule number 3, use the bag entry method in the direction of the trend. All right. Bag means, as you guys may know or think, get paid, get money. But with arrow, bag means bounce, arrow, go. So we want price to bounce off of resistance or support, head the opposite direction. We receive an arrow in that new direction, and we go. All right. So bounce, arrow. We would enter our trade at the beginning of this candle right here. It goes backwards 35 pips, and then it drops 60 pips. Our take profit is 20 pips. Our stop loss is 40 pips. So when you trade, you want to automatically set your take profit for 20 pips, which is right here, which means you hit it right here on this candle. And you want to set your take profit for 40, or your stop loss for 40 pips, which is right here. Nothing came that high after you got in right here. Therefore, you didn't close your trade out negative. It got close, turn around, and you take profit. Now, that's the ratio we use. Not my results, but the beta test team have shown, and then everyone else that follows the rules has shown that you can win more than 80% of the time following these rules. With strategy number one, identify the trend, trade inside the money zone, use the bounce, arrow, go entry method in the direction of the trend. If we were inside the money zone down here and it bounced off a support and headed up, we could take the trade because there's more than 50 pips room in between both zones. All right. And then another part of the rule is you could take 2 consecutive arrows. So if we're taking a sale here and we get another sale entry, we can take both as long as you have 2 consecutive. If I had an up arrow in between them, you don't take the next down arrow. All right. If you have an up arrow, you don't close out of the trade of the first arrow. The only time you close out of the trade is for 3 reasons. Price hits your stop loss. So you close out negative automatically. Price hits your, I'm sorry, when you're, let's say this trade right here, it bounced off and you had another zone, a green zone pop up right here, close the trade out immediately. All right. So those are the 2 ways to trade. And the third way that you would automatically close the trade is when price hits your take profit, because it will automatically close for you. Those are the only 3 reasons you get out of the trade. All right. Only 3 reasons. Price hits your take profit, price hits your stop loss, or while you're in the trade, the opposite zone pops up. So if I'm in a sale, a green zone pops up. If I'm in a buy, a red zone pops up while I'm in that trade and I have not hit my take profit. Close out immediately. Those are the only 3 reasons. Do not ask about, oh, another candle popped up in opposite color. Do I, opposite direction? Do I close the trade out? That's not the rules. Don't make rules up, guys. Follow the rules set in place. Follow the rules. All right. That's strategy number 1. So I literally could have put a trade here, made 20 pips, and I got another arrow, 2 consecutive down arrows. I could have, inside the money zone, I could have put another trade in right here, and boom, I could have got 20 more pips right here on this trade. So I could have got 40 pips. I would have been 1, 2-0 on Friday, because this was from Friday. I would have, on GBP USD, I would have caught 20 pips on both trades, and I would have been a winner, 2-0. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing, answer these questions in the chat right quick. So Q&A. Can't keep DLL settings on. I'm not sure what that means. I can't keep the DLL settings on. Once you select DLL settings, and then of course you go back and save it, it will always be on. All right. Can you show the example on pip count? All right, we just went over that. This call, we only go over strategy number 1. Any other strategies, when I start the live trading calls back this Tuesday at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, you can ask about any strategy that's out. So on this call on Sundays, we only go over strategy number 1. This call is for beginners only. When it's losing, how do you decide when to close the trade out? 2 ways to close the trade out. We just talked about that. When the trade hits your stop loss, or if an opposite color zone pops up. Do not be scared to lose a trade. If you're scared to lose a trade, there's 2 reasons why. Number 1, you're over leveraging your account and you see big numbers compared to your account size. That's why I say use 0.01 for every 1,000. And then number 2 is you didn't follow the rules. All right. Do not be scared to lose a trade, because no one wins every trade. The goal is to stay consistent with the rules, and over time you'll see you win more than you lose. All right. Someone asked about number of candles. It doesn't matter. When there's a bounce, you just wait for an arrow. Whether there's 1 candle, 100 candles, doesn't matter. Bounce, arrow, go. I never talk about any. If my videos don't talk about it, that's not part of the rules. Don't make up rules. They'll follow the rules given. That's it. Keep it simple, guys. Don't complicate it and make it harder, because when more you complicate it, then the more you second guess yourself. If Nate did not say this is part of the rules, do not add that into the rules. All right. Yes, the spread will affect these, price where it closes. Because spread, again, both the bid and ask have to be below or above your take profit line for it to close out. There is no way to set your stop loss and take profit right away. All right, there is no way to do it unless you have a EA doing it for you, which you cannot put one on to the chart because the VPS is strictly set up only for what's allowed to be on there. All right, so you can't add outside, aspects in. Last question here. Greetings from the UK. Hey, welcome. $10,000 demo account using a 1.0 lot size. How many trades can I put on? Good question. Good question. So you're going to risk about 4% each trade using the 0.01 lot size for every 100. I recommend having no more than 3 trades on at a time until you get more experienced. So no more than 3 trades on a time. If one closes, you can open another, but I recommend having no more than 3 trades on at a time. As you get more experience and you understand what's going on more, and you understand about how to manage your money, you can put on more. But until then, I recommend no more than 3 at a time. All right, guys, no more than 3 at a time. Yes, the cursor is used to measure up your 20 pips take profit. All right, you can use that, or you can use something else. All right, really depend on what you want to do. If you're not to count pips, you can go in the settings and set it for that if you're not to count pips. All right, all right, guys. Any other questions? If not, we will conclude this call. I see people already getting off. No questions coming in. All right, guys. So hey, if you're going to trade tonight, make sure you trade responsibly. Again, starting Tuesday night at midnight, more like Wednesday morning. But wait for it to come out in the AIRO announcements call. I'm going to put out a schedule starting this week of the different calls that are going to be on. I'll be trading on live trading, and hey, we'll make it do what it do. So if you trade tonight, make sure you trade responsibly, and I'll see you guys in the funny papers. Thanks.